I am Neil Larthos. I am the next Abdullah. You are the next Neville Goddard. Your SP gets wet, moist, every single time they think of you, and your bank account makes Jeff Bezos look homeless. Your SP feeds you Starbucks on a silver platter. Ladies, this one is for you, okay? Now, I know a lot of you ladies are like, when are you guys going to make a video for me? Right? I know a lot of ladies watch this channel. I don't blame them. I mean, look at me, right? Well, this video is going to be for you guys. So, look, no matter if you have a dick, no matter if you have a penis, it does not matter if you're ugly or if you are a fucking model. You are not the person that you see in the mirror every single morning when you're brushing your teeth. You are just a eternal being living in a human experience, which means that you are not the mind, you are not the body, you are just the observer of the mind and the body. Okay? So I can almost guarantee that in your life, it's either that you struggle with insecurities about your weight, insecurities about your physical appearance, or maybe you know that you are attractive, but you feel like no man will actually want a committed relationship with you. Or that when you do get into a committed relationship, you lose them. You become clingy. Or things are going great, but then all of a sudden they lose interest. Or you feel like all men are cheaters, right? Or maybe you've been cheated on multiple times. Well, the girl who's been cheated on multiple times is just a character that you've been seeing all the 30 plus years of your life, right? But if I just told you that you're not the mind and you're not the body, yet the body who has been in all those relationships that got cheated on, who's been in those situations where all the guy wanted was sex, but they never wanted something committed. You thought you were the identity of, I am the girl who can never get a committed relationship. But you see, what you should have done is when you saw that, you could have just said, no, actually, I'm choosing something different. I am the baddest bitch alive. My men in my life feed me Starbucks on a silver platter and Chick-fil-A in a golden flask, okay? I'm on the fucking throne. They're waving gigantic leaves, one to my left, one to my right, and my number one SP is eating me out right there at my feet, in between my legs, okay? You see, we exaggerate everything. You ladies exaggerate everything. You guys fucking maybe here, or maybe you guys are on social media, right? And you see a really sexy woman, and then you think to yourself, well, why can't that be me? And all of a sudden you start thinking that you're fat, even though you look more fucking skinnier than this fucking straw, right? I'm gonna get into a car accident just trying to fucking explain this to you, right? Is that not a fucking exaggeration when you tell yourself that you are a fat whale and yet you look like this? Right? Well, if you can exaggerate for that shit against yourself, why not exaggerate and say, even when all the guys just want sex with you, say, no, actually, they are willing to leave their fucking children to marry me. They are willing to leave their fucking job and quit drugs just to make sure that they can be my husband. I have a whole American Idol waiting list, and winning me is like winning the fucking lottery. Start talking about yourself like that, okay? Because it's the least you can do if that's all you've been doing is talking shit about yourselves, okay? And men, we do this too, right? A lot of men don't like to admit it, but every relationship that I've been in with a woman, I've been in relationships with beautiful women, and it always amazed me how willing they were to how unwilling they were to admit how beautiful they were. I mean, the types of things that would make them lose their confidence. I mean, there I am just fucking getting boners after boners looking at their, even sometimes looking at their face. But then a fucking zit pops up and they think it's like a volcanic fucking eruption. You know, it's like, oh my God, I'm ruined. I'm melting. You know? You guys are the best exaggerators ever, ladies, okay? And you guys know it's fucking true. So why not use that exaggeration power to your fucking favor? Right? Start telling yourself that you're the baddest bitch alive. That every man, when you walk in the room, gets hard automatically. Even those with erectile dysfunction get hard for you. Okay? Even Stevie Wonder gets hard for you just by your fucking aura. Alright? Start saying shit like that. Okay? So, I'm not saying that you have to robotically affirm like all these other assholes on the internet tell you to do. No, because I know you guys have other things that you need to do in your life, right? You do not want to feel like you don't want to feel like I'm giving you homework. Well, the thing is, if you notice that your brain is full of negative shit, and you're just constantly hung up over your ex or hung up over the hot guy at the gym or in your class or at work, whatever. The fact is, if you're constantly barraging yourself with negative thoughts and the inner self dialogue of, oh my gosh, he's not even looking at me. He's probably talking to 5 other girls. I'm probably not his type. I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. Right? That is when you want to use these affirmations, okay? I don't think you necessarily have to do this shit, right after you wake up from bed and right before you go to sleep. Although, yes, of course, that enters into the subconscious more powerfully. But I've noticed that whether you do those morning and nightly routines or not, the most effective affirmations are when you fucking do it in the heat of battle. And when are you in the heat of battle? When you notice that you go to his Instagram page and it says this page is not available. When you see that you gave him 5 months of space and then you see that he's actually talking to somebody else, right? When you see that he doesn't even look at you and all the other creeps are in your inbox, but the one guy that you want, the one guy that is just your type, treats you indifferently, like if you're nothing. Those are the moments where you have to say, no, he is nonstop masturbating to me every single time he goes to the bathroom. He cannot stop blowing up my phone, so much so that Verizon Wireless thinks that my phone is going to explode. Okay? He busts a load the moment we make eye contact. You got to start saying shit like that. Okay? I've said this with so many women and it scares me. Like I'm going to work right now, okay? So one of the women who I made a success story about, where she went from hating me because I was a player and because I dated her friend and just ignoring me whenever she was in proximity with me, to all of a sudden like making random excuses to make conversations with me. So when you tell yourself affirmations like this in the moment when you get triggered, what's going to happen is, A, you're going to be able to handle the 3D circumstances a lot better, and B, you're going to do what I call breaking the fourth wall, where it's the space in between what you see in the 3D, what you feel inside your body and in your mind. Apart from that, there's a separation when you can just become the observer and there's an awareness of the awareness. And I know that's all this deep shit, but basically it is when you are able to kind of like laugh at the circumstances because you've already seen the movie. You are already in your end. You made the imaginal act where you and your SP are already in the fucking rocking chair and you guys are looking at your grandkids playing in the backyard. Right? Even though right now that same SP in the 3D, in your current 3D, is ignoring the fuck out of you, right? But you see, when you persist in telling yourself that you're the baddest bitch alive, and no matter what the 3D is showing you, you go back to your imaginal act, whatever it is, and you don't even have to imagine. But whatever technique you're using, whatever gets you in the state, when you persist in that state, what's going to happen naturally is, because you are in that state consistently, you will get inspired actions to make decisions to recognize opportunities. And remember, this is not forced. It will simply happen naturally, but you will get inspired actions that will lead you to that situation. This is why I say that there's no set rule of what you can and cannot do in order to get your SP. A lot of you guys think that you have to do no contact. A lot of you guys think that you have to play hard to get. Maybe you do. And if you believe that you do, then you are in the state of that person who needs to play hard to get, who has to do red pill policies. But if you're in the state and you're not focusing so much on what you have to do, and you're just focusing on you are that person who has SP, who has the money, who is the baddest bitch alive, who all the guys are just longing for you to be the mother of their children, then you might wake up one day and have this really itching desire to tell your SP something, and yet you guys haven't texted in years. And it might genuinely be something that, I mean, I don't know, maybe you saw something at the supermarket that reminded you of him, and you did it from a place of not clinginess, but of love and of appreciation. Now, again, this is not me telling you, go ahead and just text your SP. No, I'm not saying that. But if it actually comes naturally, where you're not even thinking of, oh, I wonder what he says, it actually just comes out kind of like a fucking fart, then yeah. Now, to be fair, I have noticed that a lot of times, most people, when they are texting their SP, it's because they're really trying to force something. But I'm just simply saying that when you are in the state, you will get inspired actions that will lead you to that goal. Maybe your inspired action is just focusing on yourself and detaching from the 3D. And because detachment is a huge behavior of people who are magnetic, because it's another way of saying, detachment is just another way of saying, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck energy is so fucking powerful, whether you're a woman, whether you are a man. People can feel it from miles away. And sometimes that's all it takes, is for people to feel that energy field. And even if your SP is right there across the room or on another fucking planet, they'll feel it. Because remember, they are you. Thought transmission is not just whatever you're thinking, but whatever you are being. Okay? So that's really the way you got to experience your 3D reality, is revise in a disciplined manner every single circumstance that you see that is not in your favor with the most narcissistic revisal. No, I am always getting eaten out by my SP so much that I think my vagina is going to break. Okay? Say shit like that. Say that they will nonstop proposing to you. They did 5 proposals to you even though you already said yes. Okay? If you guys want to make a fucking consultation, what the fuck are you waiting for, ladies? nealarthosthegod@gmail.com. All right? I'm out.